All right, we are live. 7:15, almost on the dot. Pretty sure it's 7:15. Okay, so let's get started here. We got our little beanie all ready to go, or some might call it an ice cap. I call it a beanie, but ice cap works too. In fact, I don't mind that one at all. All right, so let's get our stuff started here. This is Chance's tarot. All right, this is my tarot. Anyone claiming to be me is not, except for me. Nobody's claiming to be me, though, so don't worry. That is not an issue. Hello there, person who just joined in. All right, welcome to the channel. Remember to like the video. I'm going to get the free list started. We're going to do tomorrow's energy, see what we got going on there, and then we'll be good. All right, let's do it. So let me change this to February 25th. All right, let's get stuff started. Let's look at tomorrow's energy. All right, tomorrow's energy, so February 26th of 2025. Can't believe it's 2025 already. Soon, before you know it, it's going to be 2025 and tomorrow. That's how fast time is flying by. All right, let's see what we can come up with, though. Okay. So I saw... Hey, Venetius, how you doing, bud? So I saw the Barbie movie, and I really liked Michael Cera's character. I feel like I identify, he is my spirit animal. Have you guys seen the Barbie movie? That's the last one I've seen, and I didn't see the polar opposite, which was the Oppenheimer movie. That one, to me, it might be good. Sorry I slept last night, couldn't get my reading. You're okay, Venetius. You're all right. Hopefully I visited you in your dreams, and we did that. I'm doing good. It was a good day. A little tired today, but despite that, I'm gonna power on and move fairly quickly. We'll still do about 2 hours for the live and go from there. So I'm gonna try and do this every weekday, about 7 to 7:15. You had to wake up very early today. 5. Okay, so 5:30. You had to wake up early. Well, shit, dude. I just don't sleep anymore. It's a huge waste of time. And you know what? After a while, you just start to hallucinate. So there's a plus. Let's see what we got going on here. But yeah, that's early, dude. I would recommend not doing that if you can arrange that for yourself. Thank you for the like. Remember to like the video, you guys. Marijana, I'll put you on there. So I'll put Venetius on there, and then we'll put Marijana on there. Venetius, Vinicius. That is how I will say it, and then I'll say Venetius out loud, but in my mind, it's always pronounced weirdly. Then Marijana, okay. Hey, there's Amber. How you doing, Amber? I'll put you on the list, Amber. Oh, come on. There we go. Had to work, had classes early in the morning. What is it you do? What is it you do, Venetius, that you had to get up so early? And then you come on here bragging about how early you had to get up. I'm just kidding. But tell me, what is it? Because the only thing I get up for in the morning is to go back to sleep. And you will see me do that consistently. No, I got to get up early too, because I trade a specific pattern in the market that only happens in the first 5 minutes. Well, it sets up in the first 5 minutes because I do the futures trading. And so I trade that. And so I have to be up right when the market opens at 7:30 my time, a.m. So I'm kind of up early too. I usually get up a little earlier, have coffee, do what my dad would call dicking around, and then that's it. You're an arts teacher at a bilingual school here in Brazil. That's awesome. That is so cool. Okay, mucho respect for you. Art is something that definitely needs to be taught to more and more people. That's a huge part of the curriculum, and definitely very, very creative. Okay. And I thought you were a native English speaker, so you're Brazilian. Is it true what they say about Brazilian waxes? Just all of it gone? Because if so, I need to do that one of these days. I'm just kidding. That would probably hurt like hell, I would imagine. Okay, let me shuffle these cards here. All right. I agree. Yes, I'm Brazilian. Awesome. Awesome, bud. Cool. That is one place I've always wanted to visit, is Brazil. I just think you guys have incredibly beautiful beaches. And unlike Australia, not everything is out to kill you. Like I've said, even the weather is venomous in Australia. It's a scary place. But Brazil, that sounds like a fun place to get a sunburn. So I might be all about that. If you can't tell, I would burn just this lighting right here. If I don't turn it off at a certain time, I start to get burnt. That's how white I am. So just in case you guys are curious. I'm so pale that the sun says, oh, the sun has to wear glasses to block my glare. It's bad. We do actually. It's hot and it's pee. And it's been hotter because of global warming. Ah, yes. The warming of the globe. I can understand. But if you went in the winter, it wouldn't be too bad, hopefully. Okay, let's look at these cards here. And I'll show you what cards we got. I'm just doing some yapping. Some yammering. Okay, so here's what we got. This is for tomorrow's energy. We have got the Page of Cups. We've got the Fontaine card. The Fountain card. All right. And now this is what was that? That was a weird sound. Okay. We've got this right here, the Fountain card. This is a different card. This is not found in other tarot decks. And you'll notice there is the infinity symbol next to it. We'll talk about that. And then we have Temperance in reverse. Okay. Again, we will talk about that. We have the World card. And then we have Indecision. So, these cards right here, I'm feeling for tomorrow's energy, which is February 26th, 2025, which is Wednesday. It's looking to me like it's going to be a start to something that could be very emotionally impactful and having us starting with new behaviors and ways of thinking. So, Page of Cups is more of an emotional energy. If you hear meowing, that is just my dad in the background. He wants me to pay attention to him. No, it's my cat, if you guys were wondering. I have 3 of them. Not to brag, but I do. So, yes, this right here is an emotional kind of starting card. To me, it can be a slow start to a project or having something be what feels like it's a slow start. The Fountain card, though, is a card of kind of infinite being, letting things flow, letting kind of an effortless action happen. So it's just like when we're sleeping. When we are sleeping, our bodies tend to breathe for us. We don't have to think about breathing, right? We don't have to think about opening our eyes. We just open our eyes. We don't have to think about breathing. We just breathe. I don't have to think about moving my hand in a very weird way. I just do it, right? And so that's kind of what this card is. It's that effortless kind of flow mentality. We don't need to struggle to have things happen to us. We can struggle, but it's not going to make things happen to us or for us any quicker. So we can be in a flow-like state, and then things can come to us a lot better, okay? Think of it like a river that's moving downhill. That river doesn't have to do anything to move downhill. It just moves downhill, right? And then once it makes a path, even more so, it's easier and easier for it to just keep moving downhill, to keep going downstream. If the river was to go upstream, though, that would take effort. But this is all about going with the flow, okay? Then Temperance in reverse, all right? And this could be possibly dealing with a stubborn as shit Sagittarius, which we all know they can be little shits sometimes, okay? You heard it here first and worst. They can be little shits. All right. And see, Sagittarius energy, when it's in reverse, it can be very loud, it can be very obnoxious, and not very forward thinking. Not very like okay. The cats are fighting. You guys heard that? Just walk away from each other. Just walk away. I tried to get them restraining orders from each other. It doesn't work. They're just that way. But this card here is definitely a slower kind of start to things, but don't let it affect your judgment, especially with emotional endeavors. Yeah, they're fighting for sure, but they stopped. They stopped, and the one cat that initiates the fight, he's kind of blind, and so all the other cat has to do is slightly run in a different direction, and he's completely confused. He might get him again, but he's kind of slow and lazy and blind, but he'll figure it out. Hold on. Guys, hey. Hold on. 1 second.
Oh, who's going to have?
Okay. Yeah, so it may be a slow start to things tomorrow, and it may feel like things are overly emotional, things are feeling kind of touchy, we're feeling a little bit sensitive, but it's not going to be a bad thing. We do have these cards, though. These are the Energy Oracle cards. Indecision and the World, okay? So indecision and the World is going to be not letting things flow, okay? Not letting things happen the way they need to happen, okay? We cannot control certain things in our lives. We can control our reaction to certain things, but we can't control certain things. Every one of us will have something happen that is not in our control, and we need to be okay with that, because the only thing we can depend on is change, because everything be changing, right? Everything be wild as hell. And that's kind of what we're looking at here. So just let things happen the way they need to. Don't think you know best in a situation, even though it seems like we want something to go in a certain pattern. Doesn't necessarily mean that's the pattern that's good for us. Okay, it just means that's how we would want it to go. Hey there, Emmy, how you doing? All right. So with that being said, I am now going to start our religious sacrament with some Capri Sun and some stale bread. Pass it to the next person. No, I'm just kidding. We're going to start doing our free readings, though. I am doing good. I'm doing good. I did the gym again today and just kind of chilling out a little bit. So, okay, I got Emmy. I'll put you on the list, Emmy. Hopefully you can stay here for a little while. Keep me company. Okay. So, very first person we got on the list, Venetius. Tell me what your question is, and let's see what we can do. Thanks, I'll try, but time zone is different for me. That's okay. It doesn't affect me at all. Just stay here. It'll be good. Yes, Venetius, it's on you. I'm just kidding, Emmy. Stay as long as you can. There's no obligation to stay. You'll make me incredibly sad, but yeah, I'll be a trooper just for you. Okay, just a general guidance for this moment of insecurity. Okay, let's look at that. Let's look at that for you, Venetius. General guidance for this moment of insecurity. What can we look at here? What can we look at for Venetius? General guidance for a moment of insecurity. And Yoshi, what are you up to, buddy? Okay. I need my beauty sleep. It's 9:30 here. Oh, okay. I guess it is a little bit later there, because when I start, it's 7:15. That Canadian time. But I do appreciate you stopping by for as long as you can, whenever you can, Emmy. Just so you know. But I understand getting beauty sleep. I don't need it, but some of you guys do. Yeah, if you can't tell, I am just a little shit. I'm always just a little shit. Okay. New York time zone. Yes, New York City time zone. That's not a bad time zone to be in, though. Okay, so we have, for Venetius, we have the moon. That's dealing with the subconscious, the divine feminine. Then we have the Ace of Swords. Okay, that's, there we go. Then we have the Ace of Swords, and that's kind of cutting through certain energies. It's not in reverse, so to me, that's cutting through certain energies, letting things come the way they need to. And then we have the Four of Wands in reverse. Okay, Four of Wands in reverse. This, and I'll show you upright, because it's going to help you to see it upright too. Okay, when I look at this, my first thought is people that are at a rave, and the lasers are up, and they're dancing, they're doing good things. So when that card is upright, it's kind of like home, a foundation, starting something, feeling kind of in control. But if it's in reverse with the moon card, with the Ace of Swords, it can be that there's new ways of thinking that are making us feel a sense of insecurity, or there can be new situations in our life that are making us feel a sense of like things don't feel right. So if we're in a situation where we are feeling a little bit uncomfortable, where we are kind of on that razor's edge, it's going to be really important for us to stay true to ourselves and how we are feeling. If we're feeling a little bit uncomfortable in life, that generally means we're going in a good direction. We shouldn't feel so uncomfortable that it's insane, but we should feel a little bit uncomfortable in the way that we're challenging ourselves and we're continuing to grow. That's kind of the uncomfortable part that I'm talking about. Not to where there's anxiety to the point of like, we don't know which way is up anymore, but just to the point where it allows us to grow and step out of our comfort zone. Because anxiety kind of helps us to focus on ourselves in a way where we can make better decisions, if that makes any sense. It can also be something that's detrimental as well in high doses, but we should always feel a little bit uncomfortable in life to make it so that we can continue achieving what it is we need to achieve. So if I'm seeing this here, keep going and keep doing what it is you need to do. A lot of us, especially the more creative people, we need to have challenges like this, and generally they're mental. They can be spiritual, mental, or emotional challenges, sometimes physical. But these challenges help us to give us guidance and insights into our own mind, into our own subconscious, which is what this moon card is representing. Okay, anxiety is always kind of this clashing force, or anxiety is always kind of something, it's an unknown worry, right? But just because it's an unknown worry, okay, it doesn't mean there's necessarily anything to worry about. Sometimes we are just geared to feel anxiety and there isn't anything necessarily behind it. And we always feel like there has to be a reason why we're feeling uneasy. Sometimes it's just a general feeling of anxiety. And the way that we can just sort of move past that is to just see it for what it is. Say, I'm feeling uncomfortable, I'm feeling anxious, and then try and do whatever we can to calm ourselves in the situation. But running from it and saying, I'm not anxious, I'm not this, I'm not that, that just shows that we have more of a ways to go when it comes to dealing with our own anxiety. Not saying you're doing that, Venetius. I'm just saying a lot of people tend to run away from the self, and that creates issues. This is new ways of thinking, okay? To me, this is showing that the anxiety will subside. You just sort of have to sit it out. It's like you're in the ocean, right? And the water is really choppy and your boat's going up and down and up and down. Eventually it will be smooth sailing again. Just keep holding on and keep knowing that it's okay to feel uneasy. It's okay to feel unsure. In our society, there's this tendency to always want to feel like we're moving in a certain direction all the time, always. And that can create a sense of anxiety because it feels like if we're not going in that direction, then we're not progressing. If we're not progressing, then we're standing still. And if we're standing still, then life is passing us by. That's not the case. It's just that mentality that makes us think that way. Trying to confront the challenges that are coming. Yes. So keep trying to confront them, but also be gentle with yourself in the process and realize it is a process. It's always, always, always a process. Okay. Marijana, what is your question? And hopefully, Venetius, that helps you, my friend. General, please. Okay. That's the hard part. I get it. I get that it's the hard part. That's always the part that seems to be the issue, right? You're very welcome, Venetius. Thank you. Thank you for coming on here. And let's see what we can come up with here for Marijana. General reading. All right. Let's see what we can come up with here. Okay. All right. Okay. Actually, I'm liking this. I'm liking this reading quite a bit. Okay, so we have the Strength card. Then we have the Three of Swords. This one is in reverse, though. I'm just showing you what it looks like upright. It is in reverse, though. So that's like getting over heartbreak, moving through heartbreak. And then we have the Sun card. So in my opinion, I see these cards, I'm feeling like there can be a sense of closure, of moving on, of having things sort of happen the way they need to happen. And we're not in a state where we're wishing for things to happen. It feels to me like we're focusing more on pushing past things. This could be a relationship. Three of Swords, though, can be a relationship. That's usually what it shows. It's like heartbreak. But because it's a sword, that always makes me think it's more of a mental thing, too. So we can have a connection to mental habits, ways of thinking. And this is letting us let go of what's no longer serving us. Okay. Past relationship, too. Okay, perfect. But it's letting go of what's no longer serving us. And then the Sun card on top of it, beautiful card. This, to me, awesome reading. Awesome reading. So generally speaking, things are working out the way they need to work out. It feels to me like there's healing here. You're doing everything that you need to do. Just give yourself time and space during this because you're doing a great job. And that's something we all need to do, is just see ourselves when we are doing a great job and see that as something that we can use moving forward. I get divorces are tricky. They can be messy. They can be hard. But in this instance here, I think you're doing the absolute best you can in the situation. You're healing. Perfect. Perfect. That's where you need to be then. Awesome. Okay. So let's go to, I think it's Amber now. If she's here. She popped in for a second. You're very welcome. Very, very welcome. And there's Amber. Okay, perfect. All right, Amber, what's your question? One second here. I'm going to look at the screen. I'm just doing something really, really quick. One second here. And we're waiting to see what Amber has to say. Okie dokie then. You want to know if there's a chance of rekindling a relationship. Okay. Keep the relationship in mind, and let's shuffle these cards and see what we can get going here. Is there a chance of rekindling a relationship for Amber? An energy checkup for us. Okay, let's do that. Let's do an energy checkup for Amber and this mystery person. And it's okay that it stays a mystery. Let's see what comes up here. Sorry, I'm yawning. Little tired, but I will power through. All right. Stop it. Yoshi, just go. Go. No, go. You can't see him, but he's playing with his carrot. And I know how that sounds, and it is not my intention. He has an actual carrot that he's playing with. There you go. You can see it. You can kind of see it in the corner. All right, let's do this. Yeah, I know it sounds weird if you say you're playing with your carrot, but you know what I mean. You really don't. But, all right, let's do this. Energy checkup for Amber. Rekindling a relationship. Is it possible? Let's take a look. Okay. Okay, so here's what I'm getting. Is this a Leo individual? I'm getting, and I'm sorry, he's kicking the carrot, so it makes it sound kind of weird. I'm getting a 6 of coins in reverse, a 7 of swords in reverse, and then King of Wands in reverse. There we go. All of these cards to me, he's a Capricorn. Okay. So 6 of coins in reverse, that could definitely be the Capricorn energy. It's feeling to me like there's definitely some blockages here. Yeah, all of these are in reverse, including the signifier. Signifier being this card right here, which is a king, a queen, a page, or a knight. But this one is in reverse. That's what it looks like upright. So, yeah, when I see that, that's making me think that there's definitely blockages here. And it could be mental blocks, because we have the 7 of swords in reverse. The 7 of swords in reverse can be a card that is very much like stealing away from something, right? So not taking the time or the energy needed for this person to heal or to focus on things. And if I see 6 of coins in reverse, it's like time has gone by, but I don't know if this person has done anything productive with this time or has made it in a sense that feels more, what's the word? Productive is like the best word I can think of. So it feels to me like they didn't use the time they were given during this to make things better. It feels like there could still be a connection, but it's like he said he was struggling financially. Okay, hence why we get this card in reverse. So if that's something that's going on, that's going to be difficult for a relationship because men have the provider role. And if they're not able to provide, there tends to be a sense of like they feel like they're dragging someone down or they feel like they're not good enough to be in a relationship if there is something where they're struggling with finances. So that can be kind of the energy we're dealing with here. I'd say, Amber, I would say give it some space, give it some more time. Maybe wait until a little bit later, maybe 3 or 4 months, and then message and see how they're doing. But right now, if they're going through financial difficulties, it would be kind of like putting yourself in quicksand because it seems to me like this person still needs more time to sort of sort things out, get things kind of moving, if that makes sense. But that's what I'm seeing here. 1 second, you guys. 1 second. Okay. All right, I am back. And I'm thinking, oh, hey there, Lamille McMillan. Hopefully I'm saying your name right. Yeah, we can actually do your reading right here. And we'll go into that. Okay. Yeah, let's do your reading, bud. Welcome to the channel, by the way. I don't think I've seen you before. If I have and I seem forgetful, it is because I indeed am forgetful. I've got my thinking cap on, but it's not my memory cap. That is a completely different looking hat. But welcome to the channel if you are new. If not, your first live. Okay, perfect. All right. Yes, I'm forgetful as hell, just so you know. You heard it here. That's what we do. Let's see what we got for you. Any messages for your interview on Thursday? Hopefully it goes well. Hopefully it goes very well. And you are in good company here. All right. Unless it's a full moon, in which case I turn into a werewolf, but I still do the tarot. Still got to do it. You guys just can't understand me. It just becomes a lot of gibberish. More so gibberish. Hey there, Ari. Let me, you'll be after Lamille here. Hopefully I said it right again. But yeah, you'll be next. And, okay. Okay. Let's see what we got coming up here. Okay. Okay, here we go. So we have got we've got the King of Coins. Oh, okay, there we go. We got the King of Coins. That's a good card to have, especially when you said you're going in for an interview. That to me is a really good card to have. Then we have the Sun card in reverse. Okay, that can represent obstacles. So, and then we have this card. We have the Six of Wands upright. So I would say this, okay? Go into this interview, okay? Act like your shit doesn't stink. Always do that. Go in there, be confident, try to own the room as much as you can without being cocky. But to me, this is a good looking situation. The only thing is this. We have the Sun in reverse. The Sun in reverse is still a good card, right? The Sun upright is a hell yeah. The Sun in reverse is a yes with a but kind of a thing. So there could be some obstacles. Maybe you're wanting to start this job and it could be that there's a delay. It could be that it looks like there's not an opening, but then they call you later and there is one. But it feels to me like it's going to be something that's going to be a good situation. Okay. So even if at the end it seems kind of like it's not going in your favor, to me it feels like it's going to be going in your favor, because then we have this card. And this is the Six of Wands. Okay. This, itchy. This right here is a really good card. It represents celebration. It's having things come together. And it can be kind of like, not necessarily childlike celebration, but it can be kind of like a jubilation kind of energy. It can be kind of a fun energy. So I would say go in there, be as confident as you can without being too, arrogant, but just letting yourself be confident and letting things flow the way they need to flow. Okay. And the way I always view it with these kinds of things is like, it's an interview for a job. Okay. Act like the job wants you. Act like you're going there and you're the one in charge. Act like this job needs you, not the other way around. Okay. Because that's going to be something that you can have, and that's going to be a way you can kind of control the energy, so to speak. So act like this is just an option for you. Okay. And maybe it actually is, but really treat it like it's a situation where you don't need it. Even if you do, hopefully that makes sense, because it puts you in a state of flow and ease instead of putting you in a state of, unflow and squeeze kind of a thing. Like you're trying as hard as you can to get something to work. We don't have to try really hard to get something to work. How do we breathe? We just breathe. We don't have to try to breathe, right? We just kind of let things happen, unless we're underwater, in which case, don't try and breathe, unless you're a fish person. All right, I went off the deep end, and so did the fish people. But that's where we're at. So hopefully that helps to make sense of that. And we can go from there. And Ari, what was your question? And I will stay on here. I will address everyone's questions. It is seeming like it's a little bit of a slower night. So, okay, she's going to post. Perfect. And Emmy is posting fish. Yet again. She does this every night. No, I'm just kidding. I like those ones. Looks like a zebrafish and a tuna, I do believe. But, yeah, so we'll do this for, like I said, we'll address everyone's questions, and then we'll go from there. I'm a little bit tired, so instead of doing 2 hours, we might just do an hour. But also, it seems like it's a little bit of a slower night. And I'm making it so I'm not on here like I was before. Because before I would be on here sometimes 6, 7, 8 hours. On rare occasions, 8 hours. And so, yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. Okay. You too, Emmy. Have a good one, okay? Sleep tight. And Ari is getting ready to post. Yeah, it's been a good week so far. Like I said, just tired, but it's not a bad thing. Not a bad thing to be tired. Still got energy. But I've been waking up early. For me, 7:30 is early for me, or 7 o'clock, because then I have coffee and yeah, it's early. And then I just stay awake. I go to the gym. I come back here. I think about the gym, and that's my day. Okay. So I saw my ex earlier while I was on my way to the interview. I was at the store and waiting for the bus, but I was going to buy something. Can you tell me if that was a sign or not? Okay. I'll go into this. Okay. There's a way we can look at it, right? We actually came across each other and he works there. I wasn't expecting it. Okay. So what was the relationship like with the ex before? Right. These signs can be a thing, but sometimes what looks like a sign is the way the universe is testing you to see if you've healed or moved on from a situation, or if you want to experience the same lesson again. Considering they're an ex, that to me says something happened to end the relationship. Maybe it was you, maybe it was them that ended the relationship, but it doesn't mean anything necessarily if we see the person. That's why I'm asking if it was toxic before or what it was. I was looking for freezer bags and needed some help, and he was the one that helped me. Okay. Right, and that would be, I could see that would be kind of a confusing situation. So, why did you guys split up in the first place? And yeah, so we got to kind of go into that. I can't lie, it wasn't a good relationship. Okay, then, don't take it as a sign. Simple as that. I know, okay, I'm going to say this, and I do not mean this in any sense of disrespect in any way at the time. And at the time when we were together, I just wasn't into him, okay? But he liked me. Okay. So there kind of wasn't the spark that you wanted there to be, possibly. And in this situation, it can seem like the universe is trying to put you guys together yet again. But again, in this situation, there can also be like, is the universe testing me? That's something we can do. I got into a relationship with him because I felt pressured by my friends and his friends to give him a chance. Yeah, you never want to do that. You want to get into a relationship with someone because it feels kind of an organic sense of something, not because someone's playing matchmaker. And please give him a shot. Like, if you're not feeling it, you're the judge of your own character, and you know what you like and what you don't. Sometimes, though, these situations or these relationships really show us what we do and don't want in a future relationship. It did end badly, but he's not holding a grudge, surprisingly, that you know of, right? That's one of these things that we just don't know. He was nice to me. That's good, but it's also his job to be nice to you if he's working at the supermarket. You know what I mean? Right. But, okay, I'm going to say this, and you can be mad at me if you want. You can think I'm being a jerk or whatever. All right, but I'm just going to say it like this. I was expecting him to be angry or petty, and he could probably lose his job if he was. Again, he was in a situation where he sort of had to help you, right? You said he works at the store that you were at. I think that's what you said. Yeah, so if he was acting up, that could be a situation where you could get his ass in trouble. Not necessarily that you would do that, but if someone was being weird with you, rather they were someone you knew or dated or not, you'd be like, yeah, I don't like this person. Just because they're being a little shit. But we don't know how the person actually feels in that situation. And the only reason I'm talking about it like this is I know there can be a tendency to be like, okay, this relationship isn't working out. This relationship isn't working out. This relationship isn't working out. And then we kind of go back and we go into what I'll call the discard pile. And we pick the best, worst option, right? And that is still a bad option. You decided to leave for a reason. There wasn't a spark, there wasn't a connection. So going back to that and picking the best, worst option is still not a good option. It seems good compared to the other options. Right. We had a brief conversation. He even asked me how I was. How was life after high school? Okay. So it's, yeah, you get what I'm saying. You get to know what you do like and what you don't like in these situations. And it sounds to me like you tried to make it work, but it also sounds to me like there was pressure to try to make it work. So organically in this situation, I don't feel like you would have chosen this person unless things, I don't feel like you would have chosen this person organically. There was pressure for you to choose this person. And so in that situation, I don't view it as a good option. It's like a shotgun wedding kind of a deal where you're kind of being held against your will to pick something or not pick something because someone says, oh, you guys would be cute together. And it's like, yeah, but isn't that my choice? Isn't that my choice to make? Thanks for your input, but can you step back? You're kind of breathing down my neck a little bit here, and don't like that. The hot, creepy breath, I'm not into it. But that's kind of the deal that I'm sensing here. And like I said, sometimes what looks like a sign is actually the universe saying, are you wanting to move past this? Or do you want to experience this lesson again? So whenever something happens, look at it from that lens. Be like, is this a sign that the universe wants me to try again with this person? Probably not. It's a sign that the universe is saying, are you healed from this situation? Right? And now that you have had this brief connection, there may be a chance that this person wants to pursue the connection. But again, we don't want to choose someone or something out of possibly, and I'm not necessarily saying this to harp on you or anything, we don't want to choose something or someone out of a sense of desperation or loneliness. We want to choose someone because it feels like the right fit. And it seems to me like the friends hooked you up the first time. And then this time you're thinking, well, these other options didn't work out, so I can go back to this person. It sounds to me like no matter what, this person is never a first option for you. And that's not fair to you or to them. Because it's like they're just an option. They're just kind of there. And you're like, yeah, maybe. So that's what I'm feeling there. It doesn't sound like there's that spark. There's that thing that's there. There's that kind of glue holding things together. It just sounds to me like it's it's a fizzle out. It's a fizzler, I guess would be my way of putting it. Hopefully that makes sense though, Ari. And you do seem to be agreeing, so. And sometimes I'll use the cards, sometimes I won't, just because some of these situations we don't need the cards, right? The cards are great. They're guiding posts, they're guiding stones, but the energy doesn't mean anything if the energy itself was kind of set up to fail in the first place. So it's like I'm looking into something that's a made-up situation, and I don't want to do that. I'm going to be honest, he does look a bit better to me, but I wouldn't go back to him unless he apologized. But I think he changed. Okay, so here's what you can do, right? Hey there, Shirley. You'll be after Ari, who I'm reading now. So here's what I'll say, and then you can do what it is you want to do. Okay. Go back to the situation if you want in this. Although I think I want to move past it. Okay. It's going great, Shirley. Thank you. You say you moved past it, but you feel like now there's a sense of attraction. Things are moving forward. So I would say this to see if you're truly over it, if this is something you want to try. I would honestly say possibly want to try. Not that you do. It's been years since I've been with him. Okay. So then try if you want. Try again. If you feel like it has to be something, if you feel like there's something going on, and if there is an apology, great. If there isn't, that can be a sign too. Sometimes, okay, time does not heal all wounds. What heals all wounds is effort. Okay, effort heals wounds. Time is just the amount of life that passes you by. It does not mean anything. Some people can have an amount of time that would be ridiculous and they're still not sorry for something that a 3-year-old would apologize for. So let that be something that you look at and see. What sucks with dating is that we can't sort of let someone kind of in. It's sort of like there's a switch and we either let them in or we don't. In this situation, if you feel a genuine sense of apologetic attitude and you feel like this person has changed and you do feel an attraction and that kind of stuff, then I would say possibly give it a shot. But at the same time, if you feel like this is something that's just like you really wouldn't choose this person, they're looking a bit better, things are going okay, but you really wouldn't choose this person if there was other people around that were better options, then I would say don't entertain it. Because I think a part of you would be like, what if, well, just what if this happened, what if that happened? And if it's the same situation, then it's going to be the same kind of breakup too, right? And as I said, this person had to help you in a way where it was their job. And so they're going to be nice. They're going to ask you questions. They're going to make small talk because they're probably feeling uncomfortable too. Not saying there's not an interest. I'm not saying that at all. But I'm saying it was kind of a situation that was inorganic, I guess would be the way. Even though it happened in kind of a spontaneous way, they sort of had to help you. It's I wish I could think of an example. Like I said, I'm feeling a bit tired, so it's hard for me to think of examples, but yeah. If you do choose them and you do choose to give it another shot, make sure that it's because you genuinely like the person, you genuinely liked the connection that you had with them, and it would be something you'd want to try again. Don't do something because you feel sorry for them or because you didn't like the way things ended or because make it so that it's something like you genuinely cared about them and liked them. That's why you would start a relationship in any situation. Someone can look great. They can have the nice body. They can have good car, like whatever. But that doesn't matter in the long run. Would it be weird if I followed him? In person, yes. That is called stalking. Okay. On Instagram, that does show interest on your part. Yeah, that shows interest on your part. I wouldn't say it's weird, and I don't want to tell you, like, that's the thing. I don't want to tell you what to do. It's your decision to make. In that situation, though, if you do follow them on Instagram, that does show implied interest. If you look at their stories on Instagram, if they post them, that shows implied interest. If this is not something that you're wanting to entertain and you're just feeling kind of bored or lonely, this is a situation where you could get yourself in a relationship and then not feel anything towards the person. So if your intention is to make a connection and possibly have it be something more, I'd say go for it. But to me, you guys were already in a relationship and now you're not. And so I don't think you can be just friends. Most people, after they've been in a relationship, it's very, very difficult for the friendship role to take place without the other person feeling jealous if someone found somebody, or without there being a sense of possessiveness, because humans are fun that way. We are just the funnest things on earth. Okay, it's yeah. So take that for what you will. But again, I'm not going to tell you what to do. I wouldn't follow on Instagram, but that's me. Okay, do what you feel is right for you. But just take what I've said into consideration, if you wouldn't mind, and then make your own decisions based off of that. And I'm going to go to Shirley now. So Shirley, tell me what's your question? And by the way, happy to have you here. Oh, this was fast. That was a fast post. Okay. So, and you posted above. Or wait. Oh, you're welcome. Will I get this back? Okay, hold on. Will you get this back? Money you've been waiting on. You were supposed to be getting paid. Let's see. I was supposed to be getting paid until July-ish, and someone got into my account, but I gave this place all they asked for. Can you look into it? So basically, are you going to get the money back? Let's look at that. Okay. Sorry that happened. I have heard of that happening. So that is as they would say in the professional world, that is the shits. But really, though, I am sorry that happened. Okay. Let's see what we can find out here. Okay. Let's shuffle these up. All right. And let's get these shuffled up again one more time here, and then we'll look and see what we can find for Shirley. All right. They kept asking me to jump through all these hoops, and I thought it was clear they gave me back 2 small checks, but it's been several weeks or a month or more. Right, in this kind of situation, it's very hard to get expedited answers, especially when it comes to getting money back. That's always one of those things that's tricky. Yeah, you're welcome. No problem. Okay, so we have Ace of Swords in reverse. Okay, slow process. Page of Cups. Okay. And then we have the 5 of Wands in reverse. Okay. Here's what I'm seeing. So 5 of Wands upright can be conflict and rivalry. 5 of Wands in reverse, to me, it's like seeing through the conflict and the rivalry. The Page of Cups here, I'm going to say it might be another, hopefully it's not another month to 3 weeks, and it could even be 5 weeks. And I'm hoping it's not that long. I'm just saying from what the cards are, from what I'm seeing in the cards, that's kind of what I'm seeing. I do feel like you're going to get some returns back. It might be small returns though, not anything huge yet, but that doesn't mean that it's not working towards something bigger. But it feels to me like it's still going to take time. It's like they're dragging their feet with this. I do feel like you gave all the information. Okay, I don't think there's anything else you can do on your end other than wait, which stinks. But that's kind of what I'm seeing there. Yeah, I only get a small amount per week. Okay, yeah, so hopefully that changes in, let's say, 3 to 5 weeks. But I'm feeling like it's going to be around that month mark, that there could be anything that's changing. And even then, I don't feel like it's going to be a huge change, but I feel like it's going to be enough of one that should be good. Don't know if you should file and ask for a hearing. I'd say give it some time, even though that stinks. If there's any way, what I would say, and I know this is a pain in the butt to think about, but I would say look into the filing process and see how that would be done, and like write down how you would do that. And then let's say at the end of 3 weeks, things are still moving and it's very, very slow. Look into getting the filing started, because 3 to 5 weeks is where I'm seeing that this would start to take place. And I would say look into it now, and then in 3 weeks, look into it a little bit more seriously. And then around that 4 to 5 week part, like start doing the paperwork. I did send a letter asking about the scenario and trying to describe it. Okay. Yes. So I would say look into doing that. Look into doing that because it seems to me like it's taking longer than it should. It shouldn't take this long to move things along, but they like to milk these processes for all it's worth, which is awful. But that's something that these people do. So hopefully that gives some insight. Hopefully that helps that kind of situation. But yeah, that's what I'm seeing there. Okay, do we have any more questions or anyone else watching? I'll wait just a little bit here and we'll do some talking. But yeah, so did anyone do anything fun this weekend? Yes, you sent all that was asked of you, and that's literally all you can do is send what they're asking you to send, and then you just sort of have to wait. You're very welcome. You're very welcome, Shirley. And thanks for the likes, guys. If any of you guys are watching and you want to know if I enjoy likes, I do. And yeah, 1 second here. Okay. All right. Oh. Like I said, we may be cutting it a little bit short. If someone else comes in here, I've never had pneumonia, so I haven't been doing anything fun. I do have a job interview coming up there for a part-time job, so hopefully I will get the job eventually. I'm hoping so. I'm sorry you have pneumonia. What did I do this weekend that was fun? What did I do? Let's see. I kind of did a lot of chores. I caught up on some chores. That's not necessarily fun, but it makes it so I can have fun. For me, it's like video games. I think I did some art. I can't remember if I did art. I'm pretty sure I did. I did some art. And played some video games, just kind of relaxed. I take Saturday and Sunday off like most people. And then the rest of the time, I'm just sort of working and kind of getting things going or studying different things with the markets and stuff like that because I'm trying to do the day trading stuff. And yeah, the financial stuff to me is interesting. I do. So I'm doing day trading and I trade the futures market. And so I basically use that as a way to make money, but it's still work from home. Sometimes it's 15 minutes a day. Sometimes it's 2 hours a day. And sometimes it's a lot of money and sometimes I lose money. So it really just depends. I'm still learning, I'm still growing. And so it's very much an up and down process, but I've had some luck. And I've got some ways I can make some money in the future. So I feel like I'm set for a little bit, and I think things will start turning around. But I still have a lot to learn because the markets they're very unpredictable, and so it's tricky even if you've studied it. And this past year, it's been a year now. It's been a year since it's almost March, so it's been a year since I've been studying this stuff. And some days it's all I do. It's anywhere from 5 to 8 hours of me just watching videos, looking at charts, understanding the market, trying to understand different patterns, different signals, different ways of seeing things. But ultimately, in the end, it's simplicity that is the key. But it's trying to understand it enough to make it simple for me to understand. And it's still taking me some time. So yeah, that's what I'm doing though. That's what I was doing for the year and so that I was gone. I actually, so last year, it was the start of last year, or close to this. Anyway, it was last year. It was like 2020. It was before the Super Bowl. Super Bowl's February, so it was like right after 2023 is 2024. Right before then, I had been making bets, And the bets, I kept winning. And I kept winning over and over again. And I would have dreams about who would win. And I just kept betting. I just kept winning. And then eventually it got up to a point where I could start to afford taking classes, doing like kind of some schooling stuff and making it so that I can do this market stuff and look into it and understand it. So that's sort of what happened. And that was fun. That was fun. I did enjoy the winning, and I would like to very much experience that again. But it was a cool process and something that I will welcome in the future. But yeah, so that's kind of where I've been the past year or so. But hopefully that makes sense. And I think if, for those of you guys watching, if you wouldn't mind liking the video. Oh, there we go, Culture and Bait. So let's see what we can find for you, Culture. Looking for some love messages. Will I find love when my career advances? Thank you. That's a specific question, and I like it. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you, Culture. Appreciate it. Awesome. Thank you. And Culture, are you new here? I don't think I've seen you before. Let's see what we got for you, my friend. New here. Awesome. Hey, welcome to the channel. My name is Chance. I have 3 cats. And if you're lucky, one of them may appear. One of them is asleep, though, so one of the other ones will appear. And hopefully you like cats, Culture, because we are a cat channel. Definitely a cat channel. Okay. 3 kitties. What a blessing. I know. And also, at times, you know what I mean? I do too. I love the kitties too, but geez, sometimes it's like hairball, and then you're like, well, okay, hairball, and then you're like, okay. And then it's the 3rd hairball of the day, and you're like, geez. They keep you alert, I'm sure. That's one way of putting it. They keep me alert. Okay, yes. They keep me alert. They also drive me crazy, but I love them so much. Okay. I have horses. I love them, but sometimes when I'm sick, it's a lot of work. Well, yeah, horses would be a lot of work. They are, I think they did research once, and horses are like 100 times the size of cats. I can't remember who did the research, but something like that. You can't be materialistic with 3 cats. I unfortunately am quite materialistic. Oh, that tells me you don't have 3 cats. You poor son of a gun. I'm materialistic too, but you know what I mean? The cats kind of humble that. They humble that out of you. Okay, so let's see what we got here for your very specific message, which I like. So, looking for some love messages. Will you find love when your career advances? All right. Depending on how advancing this career is, I might be the one you're looking for. I'm just going to throw that out there. I do birthday parties and stuff like that too. So feel free to book me for your events. Let's see here. So 3 of coins, the Hanged Man in reverse, and the Emperor. That is interesting. Hey there, Gene. Awesome. Thank you so much, Gene, for coming on here. I appreciate it so much. Let me itch my hand here. So this is interesting because we're coming into the 3 of coins. Okay. This is a card that shows kind of group work, cooperation, collaboration, all that shit. Okay. Then we have the Hanged Man in reverse, which I don't know. I always just see this as Jeff Bezos. That's who it is. It's the Amazon guy. I don't know what he's doing on this card. I mean, Amazon's everywhere. Apparently it's even in the tarot. So yeah, you got the Jeff Bezos. The Hanged Man in reverse, though, is a card of seeing things from a different perspective, or rather not seeing things from a different perspective. So love can happen anywhere. All right. We don't need to have a big fancy job title or a black belt in job titles or whatever it is black belts are for. We don't have to have any of that stuff. Instead, we can focus on where are we at mentally, right? There's this thing in America, the UK, and different places. It's kind of like a disease that's infected the minds of people. And it's this thing of like, I need to be progressing in order to find love, in order to have this, in order to have that. But we never feel like we're full enough to get where we want to go. We always feel like, okay. So I got the doctorate. All right, well, I can't do this until I've done this. I can't have a relationship until this happens. I can't do that until this happens. And it becomes this game we play with ourselves. And then we realize we're 117 years old. We have more than 3 cats. Okay, more than 3 cats, there's a problem. We're not going to go there. But we realize that it's something where we need to focus on where we're at now, and if we feel like we're mature enough to handle a relationship. More money is great, and it does mean security, but it doesn't mean necessarily that we're going to be in a state to handle a relationship. All right. The Emperor right here, this is kind of, I view this as like this person here, they're in a very red room, very dark red room, okay, and they are squeezing a box. They're trying to get that juice, right? And we all know that's not where you get it from. This to me is we're working hard. We're taking the masculine urge to go out to be a provider, either for ourselves or for others, or there's so many ways to do it. But I view it as, it's the Emperor, it's the masculine, right? And so I view that as the masculine card. But when I see this one in reverse, it's just needing to see the perspective a little differently. Okay, we're always worthy of love in a relationship, no matter what we're doing. Okay, and this I'll say right here. We are human beings. We are not human doings. Okay, just existing is enough for us to have love. Okay, society has made it where we have to have all these other things in order to feel like we deserve love now, right? But we always have deserved love, and we always will deserve love. Yes, we are worthy right now. Exactly. Yes. Absolutely, we are worthy right now. And we will be worthy in the future. In the past, though, hell no, we weren't worthy. No, I'm just kidding. Can you imagine the scandal? No, but that's what I'm seeing here. Is that we need to be where we're at now. Okay? And the ego works in 2 ways. The ego keeps us trapped in the past, or it keeps us trapped in the future. The ego is it's telling us stories about our past and how we messed up and how we could have done things differently and blah, 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 blah. Okay. And then the ego tells us stories about the future, things that haven't happened yet, but things that could happen. It's this trap of anxiety, of putting ourselves in these mental states, and we're like a hamster on a wheel. The way that we get out of the ego's grip, so to speak, is to focus on the moments in the now, because that is where the most power is when we're focusing in the now. The ego is no longer our master. When we're focusing in the now, we're focusing on the journey, not the destination, right? I agree. It's just tough because I don't think I've ever met someone who has valued me before. And when that happens, you search for reasons. Maybe that's the ego. It's tough. Feeling valued and validated and seen in a relationship is something that happens because I'm very focused on the now. It's just not happening. Okay. So feeling valued and feeling seen, yes, that can be ego in a sense, but we should always feel valued and seen for just being us, right? From one soul to another. If we're in a relationship, there should be this kind of feeling of like, not necessarily, in a way it's unconditional love, but our society doesn't really operate on the thought of unconditional love. There's always kind of a condition with it, it seems like. And so I'll say that we should feel appreciated and valued, even if for a time, for a moment, we're not necessarily doing something that would be perceived as quote unquote valuable to society. Because sometimes we're going through a rough patch, sometimes things are happening. And if we have a person or a partner that is not willing to help us during those times, that sort of shows their character more than it shows yours, right? because sometimes we just go through a rough patch. Sometimes things happen, and it's okay to have things happen because that's what things do. They happen. Happenings happen all the time. Okay, I've yet to stumble upon a happening that wasn't happening at that very moment. But yeah, that being said, if we do feel unseen, undervalued, that person is not for us. Okay, that's something that we should always focus on, is that bare minimum of a relationship is that this person sees us, they care for us, and you could imagine them taking care of you when you're sick. You can imagine them helping you in these situations. And like I said yesterday, I was talking to another person, and treat, I'm trying to remember how I worded this exactly. So imagine that when you're around a potential love interest, right? Imagine you have your 5-year-old self and you're like teaching them about the world and teaching them about this. So imagine you have your 5-year-old self. Would you introduce them to this person? If the answer is yes, then that can be a good match for you. You want to have someone that can help to support that inner child in some way, or can see the inner child and not look at you like you're ridiculous. All right. Yeah, I know I deserve to be loved and valued deeply. I just don't understand what needs to happen before I get that. Okay. So it's not a job. It's not the title of that. You need to see yourself as valuable first. That's the one thing I've seen with anyone that has that kind of question. It's that you need to see yourself as valuable first. And you need to have boundaries. And we need to look at this in a sense of not desperation, but like, I'm ready for what life brings to me because I'm putting my stuff out there. Okay. A lot of times there's a sense of desperation of needing to have something happen, of I'm getting older or this or that or whatever. And it's like, okay, the universe doesn't care about that. It doesn't care about that. You do, because you're a human, and we only have so much time on this planet. I get it. But when we start seeing ourselves as high value, the rest of the world sees ourselves as high value. And if earning more money makes you feel like you're higher value, then I can understand where that could make you feel a little bit more important. And there's nothing wrong with having money. There's nothing wrong with having status, but we can't have that be the end all be all. There you go. You're so high value. No, I like that. I like that. And at first it feels like kind of like you're lying to yourself. But in these situations, really do think of it like this. Why are you so high value? Okay. It's because you're honest. You have integrity. Okay. You try your hardest each day. Those are things that are very, very valuable. And if you looked at that and saw those in another person, you would admire them. But when we have these same traits inside of ourselves, we minimize our own value and our own worth for no reason other than because we want to be humble. Okay, screw that. Okay, screw being humble in this situation. You're the shit. Okay, you have a lot of good traits, and you need to look at that and be like, I do have good traits. I am someone that I would go out with, right? Would you go out with you? You know what I mean? If you have these different things going on, if you feel like you're a good person and you try your hardest, then look for that in other people. A lot of times what will happen is we'll have someone look in our direction, and we'll immediately get flustered and be like, well, that's the one, right? Because they're looking in my direction. I understand it. I do understand it. We get lonely. Things can feel difficult. And on top of my integrity, I'm the most giving person in my life. I'm intelligent, I'm sexy, I'm fun and funny, interesting, and interested. It just doesn't matter. No, that's perfect. That's perfect. I like that. I like that you said that. And now all you have to do is hold yourself to a higher value. And what that means is boundaries. And that means, in a lot of ways, when I've talked with people like this, it's always people that grew up and they were people pleasers. And they'll do things not because they want to do them, but because they feel like if they don't, people will have a different look on them. Like they feel obligated to do things. And when that happens, we can lose our sense of self in a way. Not saying that yours is lost, but I'm saying it can lead to that. And then it's harder for us to find a sense of value or to view ourselves as high value. But it sounds to me like you do know that you got something going on. All right. Been nice to too many buttholes. Right. That is the title of my autobiography. Been nice to too many buttholes. And Oh man, if my personality was turned up just a little bit higher, I could totally make some jokes. But right now, I'm running on fumes a little bit. If you can't tell, I'm a bit tired, but I'm good. I'm doing okay. But people, I'll say it like this: how do we know if someone's going to be good or bad from their intentions? Okay, how do we know? We don't. So what we do is this: we set up boundaries. We set up kind of a perimeter control meter, and what that looks like is this: we let the person in slowly, and we see what they are like. If we can, if they can show that they have earned our trust, and that means this. Okay, if someone says they're going to do something, okay, and they don't do it, we keep them at a distance, and we keep keeping them at a distance, and we don't keep giving them second chance after second chance. Give them 1 second chance. Okay, all right. And hopefully this is the first chance you've heard to say give a second chance, because if it gets confusing as hell, I know that. Yes, Rack, you can ask a question after Culture here, who I'm reading now. But then if they've shown that they're worthy, then you give them a little bit more trust. You let them in a little bit more, but don't give them everything at once. That's the reason why you get hurt, and why it hurts so much is because we give in instantly. We give in instantly, and we feel like we let our guard down, and we feel like that's what love is, and it's not, because you're abandoning yourself when you do that. As soon as you do that, in that situation, in that context, when they have not earned it, you're abandoning yourself. You're literally saying, okay, screw this. Whatever happens, happens. I just want to feel the lovey feelings and just fall into it. And, oh, it's grand until it's not. And then you come crashing down to earth. And then you have to pick up the pieces, find yourself again, and be like, okay, now I've got to assemble this, Yes, perimeter control meter. Have it be very slow process. It doesn't mean, I'll say it like this so it makes a little bit more sense. People, and this sounds horrible, I get where this is coming from. People are guilty until proven innocent. That's how we can look at new situations and new kind of people. I don't want you to look at them like they're the worst things ever, but I want you to look at it like each person that comes into your life can either be a blessing or a lesson, okay? And we've gone through a lot of the lessons, okay? So how do we get the blessings to show up in our life? It's when we sort of look at them with skepticalness. We don't take it for what it is, because people can say whatever they want. Buttholes, they be yapping, okay? A lot of hot air, stinky air, But eventually there will be people that you are around that won't be that way. There will be people that when they say something, they mean it. And you can tell by their actions. You can tell that they are someone who keeps their word, their promises. And then those are the people you let in. And eventually you'll be like, oh, I can't believe I ever let those people ever have the time of day, because all they did was say, oh, I do this for you, I do that for you, but they really didn't. They just like to talk a big game, but talk is cheap. It means nothing. It means nothing. And with boundaries, just let people in slowly and let trust be built up slowly. And if someone breaks that trust, be like, okay, that's it. Especially in this situation, if someone breaks your trust and you try to confront them and they get mad at you for confronting them about them breaking your trust, get rid of them. Okay? They are no longer a friend of yours. And that seems abrupt. That seems strict. But again, we can't abandon ourselves anymore for the sake of other people's comfort. And they're not even good people. It's not like you're doing this and they walk away and you're like, oh, that person's so nice. No, they're like, oh, that person is easy to use and I can get stuff from them. Okay, you're not walking away from this thinking, having any kind of goodness come from it, other than feeling used and abused in that kind of situation. So that's sort of something we can do. Good. I'm glad, Culture. I'm glad that makes sense. It's hard at first to set boundaries, and then eventually you become addicted to it. And then eventually it's just like, some days you're thinking, challenge me if you want to. This will be fun. I'm a Taurus, and so I'm used to being stubborn as hell no matter what. But sometimes to my own detriment. So, I'm not perfect at it, but yeah, so have that be something. And people that actually do have your best interest at heart will never manipulate you or try to force you or coerce you into something. If someone wants you to do something and you say no, and that person gets upset with you setting a boundary, they don't have your best interest at heart. Okay? If you explain to them, I just don't want to do it, and they keep asking why can't you do it? Why can't you do it? It's like, because I don't want to. Okay? Or you can make up a lie if it makes you feel a little bit better. But in those situations, it is okay to lie because it's protecting the self, and the self needs to be protected. Okay? People don't need to know our business all the time. And in those situations, lying to me is okay because it protects your inner worth. It protects your value, right? Challenge me. This will be fun. There you go. There you go. Always look at the challenging part. At first, it's hard, and then it becomes a little bit easier. And then eventually you're like, oh, I can't believe I wasn't like this sooner. So just don't become so rigid with it. But again, in time, more and more people will just come to you authentically and be themselves and be people you like and resonate with. And then you don't have to put up with the BS. But you have to sort of set the boundaries first. And then the universe keeps upping that level to where it's like, oh, these people actually care about me. Holy shit. And then things get better and better from there. But you just have to set those boundaries at first. Okay. So, Rackdon, you are up. What is your question? Oh, that's an itchy leg. All right. How's your night going, Gene? By the way, thank you for coming on. I appreciate it. You never have to be here, but when you are here, it's always awesome, and I always do appreciate it very much. Okay. It's just getting started. It's good. Thank you for asking. How was your day? Oh, so you are a night owl. All right. I didn't know. You work in a night shift? Is that what it is? Mine is good. I'm feeling just tired, but yeah, I'm doing okay. I'm doing all right. It's just feeling a little bit tired. Got up at 7:30 and yeah. Oh, okay. And what kind of work do you do, Gene? I don't think I've ever asked you. I myself am I'm a night doctor. Yeah, that sounds believable. Yeah. I like how it sounds, and no one will ask questions or follow up on anything. Customer service. Okay. So that's a tough job. That's a tough job because you guys get chewed out when it's not even your problem, and then you have to deal with some rude asses on the phone over stupid issues. So I can understand that. I've seen people lose their shit over someone who's working customer service. It's like, that person didn't do this to you personally. Stuff happened, and getting mad at the person who's trying to help you. Yes, people are draining. Absolutely. Absolutely. There's a few people, that can be very empowering and very fulfilling in a sense, right? You would have so many questions overnight, doctor. Okay. So I'm a doctor. I work at night. I do doctor things. I have a stethoscopy that I put on people's heads and see if they have a fever. I tell people to turn their head and cough probably more than I should. And I feel like there has to be context behind that. But I just sneak up behind people, grab them, and I tell them to turn their head and cough. Most of them do. The ones that don't, they're buried somewhere. I never can remember where I bury the bodies. But just don't resist. I'm a night doctor. And I like what I do. Some would say vampire. I would say no. I don't drink the blood. I just collect it. I think it's pretty. That's about it, though. That's what I do. And you can tell I'm a night doctor because I'm incredibly pale. This is just normal light, and you can barely see like my. I don't know, certain angles. If I turn a certain way, I disappear into my wall, and you'll be like, "Wow, where did he go?" And it's like, "I'm right here, guys. Don't worry about it." If it wasn't for the dark blue shirt, you guys wouldn't be able to see me. It's like if I walk out in the middle of a snowstorm, you would lose track of me entirely. Even if it was just a few inches from you, you'd be like, "Where did he go?" I'm gone. Because I'm also naked in the snowstorm, so I disappear into it. So I'll keep chatter down, but this is great. I'm glad. I'm glad you got chatter it up. Chatter it up. I have nothing wrong with chatter. Nothing against chatter. It is the one thing that keeps me sane is the chatter. I feel like that would be a good name for a type of cheese. Chatter cheese. Yes, we could do this. It's for parrots. It's cheese specifically for parrots. Chatter cheese, and then you could have what would be another good one? What would be like a good cheese for parrots? Like get chatter cheese, and then you could do. Come on, brain, wake up. Wait, no, my legs just went numb. Okay, that's not a good idea to tell my brain to wake up because things be not doing it. You've been in an improv group, don't lie. I have never been in an improv group. Those amateurs. No, I've never been. People have said they're a fun thing to get into. I can only do this. This is like a thing. I would love to try improv. I've even got some stand-up comedy jokes, but I don't want to say them because someone might take them, and not saying you guys would, but I'm so popular, it would just be, I just don't want to risk it. No, I would want to do stand-up comedy in the future, or in my case, sit-down comedy, because I don't like to move. And I think that's fine. Sit-down comedy, it's more chill. It's just me kind of in a chair, and I can turn around and I can wing some jokes at people, and but that's just how I roll. And my chair has wheels, and so I can really roll. But my carpet has like little things, so I can't really move in certain directions. So yeah. So does anyone else, when they try and dance, do they look like they're being electrocuted, or is that just me? Because I'm telling you right now, I can't. Your aunt has a message for you that you may have missed. We can look into that. Let me look at the cards. You have good rhythm. That is awesome. I do not. I like to think I do, but I don't. I dance like a drunk pirate, and that's when I haven't had any drinks. When I do have drinks, it's a lot worse. It's a lot worse. A long time ago, probably 10 years ago, I I mean, it's funny to me now because it's such a ridiculous story. But I was playing cards in a casino, and I got a little bit too drunk, and I couldn't walk to my room. And so I had security wheel me into my room in a wheelchair. Well, dance like no one is watching. Yeah. Even if no one was watching, you still wouldn't want to see me dance. It's oddly sensual and offensive at the same time. You'd be like, I don't know what this is, but I don't like it. But anyway, I had been drinking, and the security guards realized, hey, this person can't walk to their room, and they were not wrong. I will let you know, when you have been drinking a lot and you look down at the carpet in a casino, the last thing you're thinking is, I can make it out of here alive. Because the carpet be tripping. It's like you're looking at the carpet and it's looking back at you, and you can feel your soul in that. The patterns, the weirdness. Anyway, they had to wheel me to my hotel room in a wheelchair, and so that was the first part that was interesting. The second part was, I got so drunk that I went to the bathroom, and when I was in the bathroom, and I don't care. Grandpa Chance, yes, exactly. And when I was in the bathroom, I threw up in my pants because I was on the toilet. And then I was so drunk, I just fell asleep with my pants pulled up and throw up and all that. And so I woke up to my own vomit, and it was horrible. It was absolutely awful. It's funny to think of now, but God, that was horrible. And then I felt, you know what I'm talking about, hangovers. Oh, I'd rather not. When I get sick, when I get the hangover, the only thing positive that happens is my voice gets deeper. Just for a day. I sound slightly mysterious, sexy, and congested. And then after that, I got a headache. Was that the day you decided to stop drinking? Yes, I rarely ever drink. I got so sick. I drink maybe, I call those nights hard-won life experiences. Okay, but here's the part that's scary. I woke up. I had no money when I left the casino. When I woke up, I had $50 in my pocket. To this day, I don't know what I did to get that $50. And so I'm just letting y'all know. Just letting y'all know that 50 came out of somewhere, and I don't know where. Anyway, message from the ant. Let's look. Yeah, so I drink maybe, like, to the point where I'm slightly drunk. Maybe twice or three times a year, maybe. I'll occasionally drink to where I'm slightly buzzed, maybe a little bit more than that, but I rarely ever drink. I don't smoke. I'm just raw on life. I just say, you know what? No. But I'll have a drink occasionally. Hey there, Buffalo Man. How you doing? Okay, so any messages from your aunt that you may have missed? All right. So, Eight of Coins, Page of Coins, Five of Coins in reverse. Okay. Hey there, Divine Vision. It has been a while. And our Vicky is Divine Vision. I remember now. I got the thinkings stuff. So Eight of Coins, Page of Coins and Five of Coins in reverse. This to me seems very much like, I feel like it's focused on what you have, not what you have lost, not what could be coming your way, but focus on the present moment and what you have now. Not necessarily that you've missed this message, but it to me seems like a message that's being said, right? So focus on what you already have. But this here is focusing very much on it's looking like the financial side, right? So Eight of Coins with Page of Coins with Five of Coins in reverse. That to me is very, very financial, or very like material, I guess we would say. So tell me about your aunt, Jean. Was she more like financially focused, or what is with the finances here? Why would this be coming up? All Pentacles. All Pentacles all the time. Yeah. That to me is what I'm seeing here for sure. Yeah, so moral of the story I was saying before, don't do drinky. Don't do drinky a long time because bad things happen. It was bad. It's funny. I tell that story and I think it's hilarious. Still don't know where the $50 came from. Still don't know. She died suddenly in 2023. Okay. Was there anything she had with money or with anything like that? I'm not trying to do the mediumship stuff tonight, especially if I'm tired. I will be starting the mediumship training again and the psychic training again, so I can give you guys more in-depth messages. But yeah, we'll kind of see how that goes. We'll kind of see how that goes, because it's just it can be kind of draining to do that. But I like doing it. But yeah. Okay. So she died suddenly in 2023, and maybe you're writing something else too, because you were posting some other stuff. Do you know what she died from? If you don't mind talking about it. And were you close with this aunt, or was this someone that after passing you kind of connected? She got injured, and her boyfriend her boyfriend has her sue the state, and she won a lot of money, but no idea what happened to the money. Okay, so that's why the pentacles are coming up. So it was the boyfriend's idea to sue the state, and then I have a feeling the boyfriend has obviously some say in that money. Was he more of the unsavory type, or she was my favorite aunt. I helped her when she used to have a business. She had sold it. Okay. So it sounds like she was doing good. Like I said, focus on what you have now. I feel like with your aunt, maybe there was this, no idea, I never met him. Her son lives close by. Okay, so her son would be your cousin, right? I think. Or am I wrong with that? No, that's right. No. Second cousin? Or, yeah. Again, brain's not braining. So you guys have to deal with me being a little cheese-brained. And just because Jean's the moderator, I'm going to do a little bit more reading here. And also, because I am a curious little bastard, I'm going to see what we can come up with here. So, hold on. Okay, what's going on with this reading with Jean's aunt? Buddy, don't do that. Don't do that. No, that doesn't mean do it faster. No. Hold on. Yoshi. No. You can kind of see him. He's right there. He's playing with his bacon toy. There we go. Yeah, kill it. Kill it. Okay. So let's look at this and see what we can come up with here. Every cat needs their bacon toy. Yes, thank you so much, Gene. Remember to like. I appreciate it. Me likey likeys. It helps me to feel validated and alive.